This story started in Bikaner. The man who laid the foundation for what Haldiram today was Mr. Ganga Bishan Agarwal. He was given the nickname Haldia by his family. At a young age, he joined his father and grandfather in selling bhujia, and that's where he learned how to make it. Later in 1937, he opened his own shop in Bikaner. Now bhujia was very common in Bikaner, and in order to stand out, he tried different things. He made his bhujia out of mot dal instead of besan, which made it more delicious and crispier as compared to the competition. He also made it thinner using a fine mesh since no one was making finer bhujia. His bhujia became really popular and everyone loved it, and taking benefit of the opportunity, he started selling the bhujia at 5 paisa per kg instead of 2 paisa per kg as most of his competitors did. Eventually, he said goodbye to his family's business to start his own. He named his business Dungar Save. Now this was named after the ruler of Bikaner, Maharaja Dungar Singh. This was a very smart move as Maharaja Dungar was a very famous and respected man in Bikaner. So his brand quickly became popular as Maharaja Dungar almost acted as a brand ambassador for his business. Nearly a decade later, his bhujia Dungar Save became so popular that he was selling more than 200 kgs per week. In the 1950s, Haldiram and his wife were visiting Kolkata for a wedding where he was requested to make bhujia, and to his surprise, everyone there really liked his snacks. And that's when he got the idea of opening a shop in Calcutta. Haldiram with his sons opened a shop called Haldiram Bhujiawala in the mid-1950s in Kolkata. Eventually, like his previous business, this shop too became a success and it started to earn good profit. Over the next 30 years, his grandsons expanded the business. They took the business to Delhi, Nagpur and many other places across India. In Delhi, they set up a factory above a Sikh baker's shop in Chandni Chowk. During the 1984 riots, the whole building, including the bakery, the factory and the house, everything was burned to the ground, and this was a major setback for them. But they didn't lose hope and they decided to build the business from ground up and give it a brand new start. As their product was very good, the demand for their snacks was very high and their profits quickly skyrocketed. Later, they converted their apartment into a temporary factory to meet up with the demand. The demand kept rising and their apartment eventually fell short of space, and they bought their first factory in the late 1980s. By the 90s, they started exporting their product outside of India. The brand was growing and their profits were increasing. Everything was going perfect for Haldiram. Almost. You see, there was territorial division in the Haldiram family. Different regions of India were served by different branches of Haldiram, and due to these issues over territory and trademark, the Haldiram family got into disputes. Their case went to court and the case continued for 15 years when in 2013 the court made the Delhi-based Haldiram the sole owner of the entire company. Today Haldiram is present in more than 70 countries and provides employment to numerous people across India and worldwide. In the financial year 2013 and 14, Haldiram's revenue crossed 35,000 crores. In 2017, Haldiram became India's largest snack company. In the financial year 2019, Haldiram generated sales revenue of 8,870 crores or 1.1 billion US dollars. Haldiram even opened lots of restaurants all over India. Last year, they entered into a partnership with a French bakery. All of these achievements compel us to ask a question. Why did Haldiram win? Let's do a breakdown of all the steps Haldiram took that ultimately led to their huge success. Let's start from the beginning. When Mr. Ganga Bishan Agarwal opened his shop in Bikaner, he priced his bhujia at 5 paisa per kg instead of 2 paisa per kg, which was the standard price. By doing this, he created a perception in the consumer's mind that his product was better and more premium than others. This made him stand out from the competition. Secondly, when his grandsons took over, they made the shelf life really long for their products. Haldiram products have a shelf life of around 6 months. Before the 1990, the maximum shelf life of Haldiram's products was about a week. The company pioneered new packaging methods such as nitrogen-filled pouches to increase the shelf life of its products. Now this increased shelf life in this industry of Indian snacks was revolutionary, as earlier these type of foods were available only at local shops and they remained fresh for not more than a few days. Yay! Do you know why nitrogen is used in the packaging industry? Well, nitrogen is often used to fill food packets for several reasons. Nitrogen helps preserve the freshness of the food by displacing oxygen. Oxygen can cause food to spoil or to go rancid by promoting oxidation reactions. Oxygen exposure can also alter the taste, texture and color of certain foods. Nitrogen being inert doesn't react with the food. Nitrogen also reduces the growth of aerobic bacteria, molds and yeasts that require oxygen to survive. This slows down the spoilage process and increases the shelf life of food. And one more thing, like this video just for the science lesson if I taught you better than your school. Now coming back. Before entering a new market, Haldiram analyzed the market extensively. For example, Mr. Shiv Kishan Agarwal studied and surveyed the Maharashtrian and specifically the Nagpur market deeply in order to analyze the eating habits, likes and dislikes of the Maharashtrian people. The people of Maharashtra were not aware of the different types of snacks across India. There was a gap in the sweets market and only a few sweets were available in Nagpur. This lit a bulb in his head. He entered the Nagpur and Maharashtra market by first introducing the Kaju Katli there and their snacks later. He started giving out free samples. Due to this strategy, Kaju Katli became famous in Nagpur within just a few days. People loved the taste and the sales started reaching new heights. He then introduced many other sweets of Bikaner and Kolkata in Nagpur. Soon enough, he realized that Nagpur citizens liked South Indian snacks like idli and dosa. He opened a South Indian restaurant to attract more customers. Then, he started adding North Indian snacks like samosa, kachori and chole bhature to the menu. And this too became a success as there were not many good North Indian options in Nagpur. Thirdly, their packaging was very attractive and it suited the category they were in, which was snacks. If the packaging was dull, it would not look this appetizing. Their marketing was excellent. If you have lived in India, you would know what I am talking about. These snacks are used almost in any scenario. Wedding season, here have some sweets. Evening tea time, Haldiram Namkeen. You get the point. Lastly, they had excellent distribution network. Maintaining close relationships with distributors in India, which ensured their products were available in the remotest of shops throughout India. Overall, Haldiram is a brand that sits in every Indian's heart. It is truly an inspiring story how a brand created the perfect fusion of heritage and innovation.